Hi everyone, welcome back to Hanson Never Done Farms on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. It is September 25th, if you can believe it. Our summer is fast leaving us behind. We are into fall with winter right around the corner, but you wouldn't know it being here in central Oklahoma because I think all this week we're supposed to be in the 90s, low 90s, but a nice, dry, warm week ahead for us. So it certainly doesn't feel like fall, but we're up here at the top pasture. Thought I would give you a little update on what's going on in our breeding pens. This is Case's pen, where we have Banshee and Miss Maggie and Miss Annie and of course Kalani. There has been no action in this pen, which I didn't really expect there to be. All of these girls came into heat last week, so poor Case. Poor Case. He has a few more weeks, but just pretty stinking happy with the choices we've made here. Hi, honey. She says, why am I in with all these young girls? It's because you loved Case last year, remember? You were so upset. She says, I don't love him so much now. Give me a few weeks. But I think that they will make some beautiful babies. I know, Mama, I'm sorry. They don't like being housed with the bucks and away from all their other friends. It's always hard to get used to in a different pen. But anyway, so nothing going on yet in this pen. Let's head up to the juniors. I think, guys, we are going to have Valentine's Day babies. We moved everybody around on Saturday. That was the last video that we put out for you guys. And put everybody in and nobody showed any signs of heat. Jeff and I went back to the house and came up at about 4 o'clock. And lo and behold, little Miss Honey over there was in heat. And we stood here and watched her get bred. Calamity was also in heat, but we saw no signs that they had been bred or that she had been bred. There was interest, but she wouldn't stand still for him. Whether she stood still later remains to be seen. There could definitely have been some breeding going on. We'll know within a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, if she comes back into heat or not. But in this pen, for sure, Honey was bred, and possibly Calamity was bred. There is also a chance that Catch Me has been bred. She had just a little bit of slime yesterday, but again, saw no active signs of breeding, so we marked her down, and of course, we'll be watching her. What do you think, Miss Calamity? And of course we have the pigs. Always got the pigs. Growing. And then that brings us to Cash's pen. Saturday evening, when we came up, Freya also was in heat and was also bred. So February 14th is also the date for Freya. You guys can see we have a cross fence put up. There is a little story behind that, if you'll bear with me. Saturday, when we put everybody up here, I did not want Case and Cash fenced together. I didn't want them anywhere close to each other. I also didn't want Case in this pen because Case can also be very territorial. He's not mean, he doesn't headbutt, anything like that, but he'll follow me around sniffing and snorting and going on, and I just told Jeff, let's leave Case in the big pen and put Cash in this pen. Everything was great. He was with the girls. Nobody showed signs of heat. We closed it up and went to the house. About 3 o'clock, I walked by our living room window because from that window I can see the grow out pen. And I noticed Case was by the fence. Didn't think nothing of it. 45 minutes later, he's still by the fence. And I told Jeff, I think I'm going to go up and feed everybody a little bit early and see what's going on. It was at that point we come up and noticed Honey was in heat. And Cash was not liking the fact that she was on that side of the fence. We quickly realized that it wouldn't take long for him to figure out how to get into that. So we gathered it up, hurried it up, and we put a cross fence up. They have a very small area, just this area, but it is what it is. It keeps Cash focused on his ladies and not focused on Roscoe and his ladies. And that fear that Cash would get in with goats that I didn't want him in with has dissipated. We had just enough cattle panels to do right here. Later on, once breeding is completed, we are going to do a full cross fence and just be prepared for next year. But for this year, this is what will work. This is only going to be for a few weeks. So it is what it is, and everybody's where they need to be. Hi, brother. But anyway, so that is what happened. Of course, we didn't film it because once we realized how serious the situation was, our only focus was getting this fence up and getting these girls, getting actually Cash contained in this area where he cannot smell the other girls. And having the cattle panel between them is actually a lot stronger. I don't worry that he's going to jump that at all. So anyways, that is where we're at. Definitely Freya has been bred February 14th, and definitely Honey has been bred February 14th. I'm putting a question mark on Calamity for being bred and due February 14th, and a question mark on Catch Me for February 15th. Kidding. That's where we're at. I will start posting expected due dates up on our Facebook page and also on our website, HansonNeverDoneFarms.weebly.com, and then of course Hanson Never Done Farms on Facebook. You guys, we're in it. I have no doubt Bijou is next on deck. She is on day 16 since her last cycle, so I rather imagine we will see her come back into heat by Thursday, Friday at the latest. So, and then she will be bred then. So, anyway, that's where we're at. I have been checking Miss Ellie, Ellie, Annie, and Kalani all were still nursing, so I am also checking on them twice a day to make sure that they, no hard knots in their udders, this is a good time to start drying them off. And so that is another goal of all of this. But anyways, let's head back down to the lower pen. I had one of our subscribers ask what made us decide to let go of Banshee. Many of you will remember back in the spring, we had decided to let Banshee go, and she didn't sell. I had had a buyer for her, and that didn't work out, and so I just decided not to stress about it. She was fine for now, and pull her off. We'll see what happens. Right before we separated for breeding, I listed her again and listed that I would that she would go exposed to the buck. And y'all, I took deposit within 12 hours. I mean, she went very, very quickly. The only reason I'm letting her go is herd management. And that's what everything always boils down to, is herd management. I have let go of some really, really nice does and kids because we've needed to keep our numbers in check. One of those littles that I let go of was Case and Maggie's doeling from this year, HNDF Fancy Pants. She went to a wonderful, wonderful farm, as many of you know, in Arkansas, Barker Family Farms. I've linked to them before. I will do so again here in the description. They took Fancy, and their son David is in 4-H and wanted to show. And so I was really happy about that. Couldn't wait to see, you know, how that progressed. I don't ever think any of our goats have went to show. They've been linear appraised, stuff like that, but never been in the ring. Anyways, I'll let Rayanne over at Barker Family Farms tell the story better, but her second time in the ring, she won some awards, y'all, and I am so stoked. She won, if I remember correctly, she won first in her class, and she also won Reserve Grand. So I'm just beyond myself with excitement, and we're doing it again. Let's see if we can repeat that breeding, but I am so thankful that she went to a home that loved her, that loves her as much as they do, and we are forever grateful. I don't ever think that I will show. I do want to do linear appraisals soon, if not this year, next year, just so I can get a good idea the totality of our herd is and where I need to make some improvements. But thank you, Rayanne, over at Barker Family Farms, for providing Fancy with such a good home, and super big shout out to David for all the hard work that young man has put into her and getting her ready for show. If you guys don't mind, head on over there and give him a big shout out. He deserves all the accolades from as many people as we can get. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. That is the update on who is bred and who we're looking to see who's coming in next. I am going to pop pictures in here of Miss Fancy with her ribbons, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.